This video is going to show how to define physical rules with the Constraint Manager in OrCAD X. Defining physical requirements for a PCB design is essential for functionality, safety, and manufacturability. OrCAD X allows you to quickly and easily define physical rules and requirements through the Constraint Manager and New Constraints panel to ensure first-pass success with your design. Start by opening the provided design in OrCAD X. The procedures shown in this video can be done in OrCAD X PCB Designer or OrCAD X Presto. Select View, Panels, Constraints to open the Constraints panel if it is not already open. The panel opens on the right side of the canvas. Here you can define physical, electrical, and spacing constraints for any net or layer right in the design canvas. Scroll to Physical to define physical constraint sets. To create a new constraint set, select the plus sign. The Create Physical CSET window opens. Enter a name for the constraint set. We'll call ours Power Ground. Click OK. The constraint set is automatically selected in the Rule Set dropdown. We'll start by defining minimum line width, minimum neck width, and maximum neck length. Enter the desired values into the appropriate fields in the physical constraint set graphic. Next, we'll define the VIA pad stacks allowed on nets assigned the constraint set. Select the Edit VIA List dialog button on the right side of the panel. The Edit VIA List window opens. Here you can select which VIAs are allowed on the assigned nets. In the VIA selection table, scroll down and double-click the desired VIA to add it to the list. Click OK. The original and new VIAs are listed in the VIA List table, indicating they can both be used in the design on nets assigned this constraint set. Now let's assign the new constraint set to the power and ground nets in this design. To select a net on the PCB canvas, disable all objects in the selection filter and enable nets. Select a pin or trace on the desired net in the PCB canvas. In this design, the power nets are highlighted in purple for easy identification. In the Constraints panel, select the new constraint set from the Rule Set dropdown to assign the constraint set. Click anywhere in the canvas to deselect the net. Constraints can also be defined and assigned in the Constraint Manager. To open the Constraint Manager, select Electrical Analysis Constraint Manager from the menu. The Constraint Manager window opens, showing a directory of constraint domains and worksheets. To assign a physical constraint set, select the physical domain in the Net All Layers worksheet. Rules can be assigned to individual nets here, but to save time, groups of rules can be created and assigned to nets with constraint sets. To assign a defined constraint set, select the cell under Reference Physical CSET and choose the desired constraint set from the resulting dropdown. The constraints defined in the Constraints panel are listed in the table, indicating that the set was assigned. Close the Constraint Manager. With power and ground rules assigned and defined, let's confirm that the power and ground nets adhere to them. In Presto, select Properties on the right side of the window to open the Properties panel. Select Refresh in the DRC section of the Status subpanel to update the pie chart. Click the pie chart to open a list of DRC violations in the Search panel. The Search panel opens at the bottom of the window. The listed errors indicate that the power and ground traces throughout the board are thinner than the assigned constraints require. Double-click a violation to be brought to its location on the board. To fix this violation, we need to adjust the trace properties. Select All Objects twice in the selection filter to turn all objects off and select Traces to enable the selection of traces. Select the trace. In the Properties panel, set the width to 0.381. The error marker is removed as the trace width is now within the constraint. Repeat this process for all marked traces in the design to clear all errors. When finished, click a blank area of the canvas to view the Normal Properties panel. View the DRC section of the Status subpanel. All physical DRC violations have been cleared. Quickly and easily define physical rules for traces with constraints in OrCAD X to ensure functionality, reliability, and manufacturability of your PCB designs. For more tutorials, visit us at resources.ema-eda.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.